So this is the painting we're going to do today, and like I promised, we're going to do it with the gesso, so I can show you how gesso works. I did another video that explained gesso and how it works, and I showed you some examples. So now I promise we'll use gesso in our painting. And this is the gesso I'm using. It's acrylic gesso, and it will dry to a matte finish. And it's by Dollar and Rowney, and I'll leave a link for you below. And we are going to use gesso today instead of white, titanium white, or any of the whites that you have in your tubes or your bottles. So all you need for this painting today is your gesso. It's like a little bit of black there next to it. Try not to do that. And some cad red, and some ultramarine blue, cad yellow, burnt umber, and sap green, and I got some black there. I may not use it, but it's good to have the primary colors and your sap green and burnt umber. And as you can see, the gesso is starting to move because it is more liquidy than the regular paint. Now, if you like nice thick white paint, stiff out the tube, then you may not want to use the gesso, but I'm just showing you today how smooth and how it blends beautifully with your colors. So as you can see in this painting, we're going to do our background first. So see the background? It's like a sky, sort of a sky color. Got a little bit of pink in there, some blue, and we will put that in there first, and then we let it dry, and then we'll add the rest. I'm using a 1-inch bristle brush, and that's one of the brushes you will need today for this painting. It'd also be nice to have a flat chiseled edge synthetic brush. And that's a size 6, but you can use any size that fits your painting. Get a couple of different sizes, you know, and maybe another flat smaller one, or Filbert brush, and a liner brush. Your liner brush. So get different sizes, you know. It's nice to have all these different sizes, and then when you go look for them, you have them handy instead of trying to. I got a round brush here in case I need it, and I may not even use all these brushes, but I like to have them on hand anyway. So get the blue sky in the background started. We will use some gesso and a bit of blue, and because the gesso is so smooth, it makes all your paint, it gives you more paint. You can actually save money by using gesso. As you can see, I have my canvas on a portrait, okay? So that's portrait. It's a long ways. We turn it this way, it's landscape, okay? So just take your blue paint with your gesso. So you tinted your gesso now with blue. Now you have blue gesso, and that's what you're going to use. I already primed my canvas with my gesso, my white gesso first. Now I have a really nice surface, and I'm going to start painting in this corner over here. Look how nice and smooth it is. All right, good. So now if you want a bit more darker blue in that corner, you can certainly do that too. If that's too light, just add a little bit of blue to your paintbrush. I'll just add to the corner there my brush just to darken it up a little bit in that corner, not too much. How nice that blends, beautiful. Alright, so now as we come in the center, you go back and forth over it, you'll get a nice smooth look to it. You won't get too many streaks, okay? Good. Now as you're coming over to the center, let's add a little bit of red. A little bit of red and more white. I'm not even really blending. You can take your gesso and you can take it and blend it all here if you want, or you can do it on your canvas. I'm going to get more white. I want more white than pink, okay? Alright, so Alright, so now we got a nice pink color inside here. We can blend that over here. See how the edges blend together without destroying. Look, the blue stays blue and the pink stays pink. Nice. Good. So we can add more white gesso on the edge here just to spread it out and get it nice and wet before you add more color, if you can do it that way too. Look, and you can go back over that again. See how pretty that is? It's going to be a really nice background. We'll go back into the blue again. So just get your blue. I'll get a new canvas here, or a palette, just because I'm running out of space on the other one. And just mixing my gesso and my paint together. Good. So you can have any kind of background you want. If you want a sky background with clouds or trees and branches, but we're going to be putting trees and branches on also. Alright. The gesso is really smooth. Makes your paint just flow. Okay. It's almost like a rainbow. Alright, I got some more gesso. More paint. I use lots of gesso because it goes so far. You don't have to worry about, because it's cheap enough that you can use lots of it. With your white paint, you're always trying to save and you're always trying to not waste too much paint. Well, with the gesso, it spreads so much and that you don't have to worry because you don't use a lot. Even though it seems like I'm putting a lot of paint on my brush, but it just spreads so beautifully that I don't need as much as you think I do. So when you start using it, you'll understand what I'm saying. So I'm just going back and forth, up and down, whatever way you want to go. Go side to side, whatever way you want your sky to look. Alright, so I probably got that a little bit too pink, so I'm going to go over that with some white, with my gesso, okay? I'm going to go with some gesso, just so that I can brighten it up a little bit. I find that a little bit too pinkish, but you can leave it whatever way you want it. I mean, here I am showing you what to do, and then I say, no, let's change that. But that's good, because then at least you know you can change things around if you don't like what you see. I see, that's pretty nice. That's not a bad little background. You can just scrub at it if you want, make little circles to give it a cloudy look if you want to do that, but I'm just going to leave it plain for now. Good. That's a nice background. Now let that dry, and as soon as that is dry, completely dry, then we will do our birdhouse. So now we're going to start the birdhouse, and I have a pattern for the birdhouse, and I'll leave that my Patreon page. Somewhere you can find it, I'll get it for you. And then what I did was I just took the pattern and put it on my dry canvas, and I taped it on, and then I just traced it out with some carbon paper. So I just put carbon paper underneath it. I laid it down flat, put the carbon paper underneath it, and then I used a pen and I traced it. And I had to extend this line up here because it looked a bit short. So that's all I had to do there. And then you get your drawing. And then you take it off and you start to paint. So what you're going to do the birdhouse is you're going to take some burnt umber, and you are going to add some water to that to make it like a glaze. So give it a rough look. Okay, so just add water to your burnt umber and you'll get this kind of a look to it, okay? And I'm using a flat chisel edge brush. And then you can just start painting. Now we'll be doing highlights and things on this. So you pull down in the shape of, follow the line of the birdhouse. go. See? Good. Now yours, make them out a different color, and maybe you can have whatever colors you want. This is just what I'm using. But you can certainly use whatever colors you want for your birdhouse. Trying to stay inside the lines. Not these down here, they're okay because we can see those. We'll be able to see through the paint. Alright. So that's pretty simple. And then we'll do this part here. We'll do the whole birdhouse with this paint. You should be able to see your lines. Try not to lose them because you might have a hard time keeping the perspective of the birdhouse if you lose them. And you don't want to, whoops. Okay. So make sure you can see through your paint. So you can see your lines. And paint going the direction of the way the wood would go on the birdhouse, okay? Good. Pretty simple. Takes a little patience. Good. See, it gives it a wood look when you do that, when you take your burnt umber and you add water to it and make it into a transparent color. Good. Trying to get that wood look. We're getting it. Leave your hole in the middle of the birdhouse. Try to stay away from that. Good. Another thing you could do is paint your lines first with a really dark color and then do this, but this is easier, I think, because you get all this big section done first. Okay. Now don't worry, we're going to go over it again. So we get that done first. Good. See, it got a wood look to it. There we go. Just by watering down your paint. Let that dry and then we'll go over with a second coat, and we're going to go through the lines here with a darker color for shadows. But we need to let that one dry first. I'm just going to change to a smaller chiseled edge synthetic brush, and I'm going to put my burnt umber on there. Keep it chiseled. And I'm going to go over these lines here for the shadows. So I'm going to touch and push up here. Now, if I laid this down flat on the table, it would be much easier to do. If you want to do that. If you don't want to stand up, you may need to put it down on a flat surface. That way you can control your hand better. So that's why mine is a little crooked. So I'm standing. Okay, so we'll get this one on here. So these are your shadows. A little corner here. And we have a little bit up here. If it looks a bit messy, we can always straighten it up. It's no problem. Let's see. See how messy I got it? Alright, so let me get this down here. Alright. And one on the corner. It's okay to spread it out a bit. Good. Now, what are we going to do next? Let's see. So take your a smaller bristle brush, like a roughed textured brush, so that it'll be able to make more of a wood look. So what we're going to do is I'm just putting burnt umber on there, and we're going to drag that down over what you already did, but we want to leave some of that come through, so we'll just drag that down like that. See? And then that will give it a wood look. See? So let some of the other one come through. There we go. Go with the shape of the, if you need to add a little bit of water, you can do that too, but not too much, because you don't want it to be too opaque or too transparent. Alright, there we go. There we go. Add a small bit of water just to get that to flow a bit better, okay? So now we have more of a wood look. See, isn't that better? Alright. So just dampen your brush. Put on your paint. Burnt umber. And then we will do some in here. And then we'll drag it down here. Drag it down. If you need more paint, go get it. Depends on how much wood look you want. Good. Nice and woodsy looking. We'll do the front. Let's do this little top part up here, so I won't forget it. Good. And then drag it down, straight down. A little bit here. If you need more paint, pick it up. Good. Good. See how much more woodsy it looks? Woodsy? I don't think I meant to say that. Woody. Like almost like mahogany or something, you know, like you would have a table. It's got a nice look to it. So as long as you go with the shape of the birdhouse. There we go. So that looks better. So just put on as much as you feel that you need. If you need a little more in the front here, we can go and do that. I'm not pushing very hard. I'm kind of dragging it. Dragging the paint over what I already have done. Because I don't want to lose my underpainting that I did. Good. Now, do little touch-ups here and there if you need them. Nice. Alright. Now that opening here and here, you can add burnt umber and some black to it if you want to really darken it up, or ultramarine blue. Either will work, make it really, really dark. You want to make that almost black, right? Try ultramarine blue or you can try black. It's up to you. So really, really dark. I'm using a small chiseled edge brush again, okay? And try to keep it chiseled edged so you can get in there. Alright. So leave that little opening that on the side there, to the right, leave that there. And try to get that as round as you can. There we go. Good. Very good. What we'll do now is we will lighten up, we will clean our brush. Let's clean our brush really good. And now take some of your burnt umber. Take some of your burnt umber and add, let's add a bit of, we might make a cream color. Let's add a bit of gesso. Gesso. Alright, so now we add a lighter color. And that will be for the right side to make it a lighter opening. Good. What we need to do is take some burnt umber and put that on the other side here, so make it look like it's there we go, so that you can see that it's too light on that side, so you have to make a few adjustments. Make a few adjustments along the way. Good, it's coming along. Still might have to do some adjustments, but if you do, just go back in and with your black and round it off a little bit more. There we go, that's better. That's better. Alright. Now if your shadows are not dark enough, you can go back over them again. So you may have to go back and forth a little bit. Just get some burnt umber. You don't need any water this time. And just go into the shadow part that you think needs to be, because you like to have that darker so you can see the shadows. And it looks like in order for that to work, you need to let it dry. Yes, so in order to get these shadows to work, you need to let it dry and then just put on your dark burnt umber again. Alright, and we'll get a nice shadow under here. Make it a little bigger this time. Good. We come down the side. Get some nice shadows. Good. And where else do we need them? That's about it. Just those couple of areas here. And over here. Alright. Good. Just wipe off your brush, just take the paint off of it, and then you can drag some of that down into your, clean up that edge there, clean up that edge, and clean up this edge. That would have to be wet to do this because you want it to run down a little bit into your birdhouse. Good. Good. Boy, that looks really, really good because it looks so old and worn. Good. I'm going to lighten up this side over here just a little bit more, just so you can see it. There we go. Good. Let's let that dry. So if you need any more touch-ups before we put on our highlights, just take a little bit of burnt umber and drag some of that dark stuff on there. Looks good. Looks good. Good. Nice little shadow underneath there. Underneath there. So whatever you need, If you need more, just go back and forth. But like I say, you can have any color birdhouse you want if you want to make it a little easier than this. Just wanted to show you how to make weathered wood look on the birdhouse. Just a weathered wood look, that's all. See, and the more you give it, more layers you give it, the better it starts to look. Right? See that? Good. Just going to put pure black on my brush, a smaller brush. I'm going to darken up that center a bit more. It's not dark enough for me. Now if yours is dark enough, you can leave it alone. But it's not dark enough for me, so I'm going to add pure black. Oops. See? The darker it is, the more it just goes right deep inside. So add some burnt umber and white and a bit of yellow. Make a nice bright color, and then tap into it to get it on your brush. And then we'll wipe it off in our tissue for dry brushing. I'm still leaving some on there. And then we'll take some and make some highlights. Okay, so we need more paint. Go get it, but just don't have too much. We're just trying to dry brush a little bit of a glaze, like a shimmer, maybe from the sun or whatever. And just gently pull that on there. So if you wipe off too much, just go back and get more. So it depends on where you want it. Just let it shimmer. Makes the house shimmer. Good. Put a little bit on here. There we go. See how it makes a nice little shimmer on your... Good. Want to add a bit more white. It's not bright enough. Just add more of your gesso. Wipe it off in your tissue a bit. And then you can add more. Just gently touch and pull down. Okay, if you need more up here. So wherever you think you need it. Just trying to get a bit of a shimmer. A little bit here. Not much. Hey. There we go. So the more you layer your paint, it actually gets nicer. I think this should be enough. Just gives it a little bit of a shimmer, a little bit of little added texture to your birdhouse, and I think I'm going to leave that. Now you can, like I say, you can adjust anything you want to make it nicer. There we go. So make sure that your shadows are still nice and dark. You have to go over them again. Go ahead. See? Pull them down. Alright, so I think I should stop because I could do this for hours, just with one subject. Alright, so let's leave that. Our branches to put our little chickadee on, so we're going to put our branches on first and we'll work on those. Now for the sake of the video, I'm going to use a pencil, but you use chalk, okay? Because you may not be able to, if you don't like what you see, then it'll be harder to get off. So I just got to wing it and hope for the best. So we have this underneath here, so I'm going to draw that just so you can see it. And then we have some coming off. Alright, can you see that? So make some vine or twigs and branches coming off each other. So you make a line, make another line coming off of that line, and another line coming off of that line. Good. And then make a few more lines. So, and then you can start a new line up here. I'm gonna make some of those. So whenever you make a line, make another line coming off of it. Alright, so let's go up here. Get a bit close so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to bring out a vine out here, branch, comes out here, and you can bring one out up here, and another one out here. So just bring them out wherever you want them. Okay, so wherever you want your branches, make them, and you're going to be putting little flowers on these, so they're just guides for your flowers too. And you wiggle them around a little bit if you want. Alright, and okay, so just, whoops. So that's good. That's good. Might have one coming down up here a little bit. Wherever you want them. Alright, and we need to add more, we will. Hopefully you can see that. See the lines? Like squiggly lines. Now take your chiseled edge brush, your synthetic chiseled edge, just a fairly small one, it's not real big, I don't see a number on it, but I think it's about a size, probably a 2. So you gotta make it small enough so that you can, we gotta go over our branches now. So what we're going to do is, we are going to put yellow on one side of your brush. Alright, so you got yellow, and on the other side some burnt umber. Alright, and then you're going to put the burnt umber side down, and you're going to touch the chiseled edge off the branch, just touch, and then pull. And you get your highlight and your shadow all at the one time. If you run out of paint, just go get some more. Just get the burnt umber if you need it, if you already have yellow still on there, and you can go back over it again to get your shadow. There we go. Alright. Okay, so now we will do our twigs, branches, and we'll put brown on one side of our liner brush. So brown or burnt umber and yellow on the other side. So you drag it through brown and yellow, and you put the brown side down, and you follow the lines that you made with the brown side down, and you paint over these lines. There we go. Good. Okay, so you have your brown and yellow, and you follow those branches. There we go. So burnt umber on one side and yellow on the other. There we go. So put on whatever you want. By putting brown on one side and yellow on the other, you get at least the highlights and the shadow. See? There we go. Another one over here. Now I'm using the long liner brush, but if you can find a brush that works better for you, you go ahead. You can also try a chiseled edge brush. Alright. I'm standing up, so I'm sort of going backwards here. Whatever's easy for you. There we go. So you may need to reload several times. Good. Good, now we have that much done. And now we'll do the top one. We have a big long one coming out here. Load your brush. Okay, there we go. So we'll get this big one done first. I'm going to push a little bit harder so that I can get a bigger branch. Alright, there we go. So just go over the lines you already did. It makes it much easier when you draw your lines out first. If you can't get your paint to move, add a bit of water to your brush. See if that helps. There we go. Gives you nice skinny lines with this long liner brush. Good. And up. Get as many long liner lines in there as you can. And we have another one here. See, it's so much easier when you follow the lines, because then you see if you like them. If you don't like them, you just take them out and redraw those. That's why I suggest use chalk, because you may not like what you see when you get it drawn. But I used a pencil just so you could see better. There we go. See? Now, almost. We're getting there. All right, so we got a couple up here. All right. See, add a bit of water to your brush and it moves a little smoother for you. I might even add a few more little. There we go, like that. See? Good. Now, I don't know if you can hear the background music. That's a song that I wrote. And I'm singing there. Love to sing. It's fun. All right. So much easier when you add water to your brush. Moves much faster. So I'm just adding a few extras just to show you. There we go. You don't have to have that many, but you can certainly put in as many as you want. There we go. Now what I'm going to do next, I'm going to put some of those really nice little leaves on there. See them? The branches? Alright, so what I got is my flat, it's a bristle brush, and I opened it up a little bit by pushing it in my hand, and then I'm going to tap into some red. Now you can pick whatever colors you want. It can be red and blue, it can be red. I'm just going to use red and black for now so you can see it better. And I'm just tapping in so that they separate, see that? And then I'm just going to take each branch and make sure you can see it. So just pick a branch just sticking out and tap. One little tap. Tap. So you can use that. You can also try anything that you have, because you don't want to not be able to do something because you don't have the proper brush, or you think it's the brush, you know. But whatever you can find. If you found a little sea sponge, you could pick off a piece of the sea sponge and tap into the red and the black, and try that. I don't know what this is going to come out like. We'll find out. Oh, you got to make sure it's nice and small. See? Oh, that's nice. See, that came out nice. One here. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So anything that's going to give you separation of colors, and so that this is the little sea sponge. These are fantastic for foliage and trees and branches, all kinds of stuff. So let's see where else we are. See that? That's not bad, is it? So you can use whatever colors you want. Even if you picked up a bit of green and yellow, you could do that too, right? Green, yellow. So I'm trying to squeeze it together so that it's nice and tiny. And I'm going to, boop. Oh, that's cute. Look at that. Look. Isn't that nice? All right. All kinds of pretty flowers going on there now. Let's see. Let's try one up here. Pretty, look at that. Now you can go back to the red again. You don't even have to clean your brush. Just make a messy little sea sponge. And pick a spot. And use the tops of those to give you some nice flowers. If you want more in the middle, you can also do that too. And let's see. I'll go back to the other brush now. So anything that can create some texture, okay? You know, bristle or sponge. So I'm just going to dip in my red and black. Put one here. Too much black. All right. I'm going to go into more red, and if that's too black, just tap over it. If you want to add yellow on top of that, you can go over it again. See, you can just keep adding colors and colors to them and have some fun. You don't have to worry too much. So wherever you want them, a few little here and there, just tap. So don't scrub or don't rub into it, just tap, touch and pull back. All right, so you'll have a better, it'll come out much better. So down here I'm going to add, maybe I'll add some different colors, some yellow and a bit of blue maybe. I didn't even clean my brush, I just want lots of color on there. I'll throw one here, tap, look at that, isn't that pretty? And another one here, another one here, good. And this time I might even add a little bit of white. Just pick different colors. There we go. Good. Maybe some more yellow. Two little yellow ones. Go back into some red. I'm not even cleaning my brush. I'm just tapping into my colors. Tapping into my messy palette. Tapping into some yellow and some red. There we go. Right. So just tapping in different colors. And that way you get, look, see that? Just by tapping into some different colors. Look at all the different colors that you get. Isn't that pretty? Go back, get more red. See, I got more red, so it came out more red, but yet it still has more colors. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Yes! It's exciting, isn't it? So I'm going to go back to my sea sponge, and I'm going to and make sure your sea sponge is damp. Well, let's pick up a bunch of colors. I get a little bit of a bigger one this time. I'm going to try adding some, just for fun, a little bit of yellow and green. Okay, just tapping into it. Just tapping into yellow and green. Alright, so I'm just going to see what happens there. I don't know what's going to happen until it goes on there. So if you want to do it on a testing paper, test it first rather than go right directly to your canvas. And that way you won't be disappointed. You'll be able to figure out what's going on. So I'm just tapping in some flowers down here by the... there we go. See that? See that? Yellow and green on my sponge. And I get really nice foliage down here. Good. Look at that. Look at that. Now, isn't that exciting? Let's add a little bit more over here. You can add a bit of brown to it if you want. Pick up some yellow, some green, just everything on your, just all the colors. It doesn't matter. Just try them, and like I said, practice first. Just look. Isn't that amazing? Almost. Almost. Sometimes where I'm standing up, I can't get what I'm looking for at times, but you know, it's okay. I just want to have a bit of fun. There we go. So that's a little bit of foliage on the bottom here. Alright, now you don't have to have that, but I just wanted to show you what the sea sponge can do, okay? You can make a full painting out of a sea sponge, even do abstracts, whatever you want. As long as you put lots of colors on your... Look at that. Just, I mean, it's so easy and really, really nice. So, the only thing we really have left to do now is the Chickadee. For the Chickadee, all you need is a small flat brush. Either a small flat brush or a small round brush. Now I got a small flat Filbert brush, okay? Very small, because the Chickadee is not that big. And we're just going to paint in the darks first. Okay, so there's a dark up here on the head, so just add a black and a little bit of blue to your black if you want, a bit of ultramarine blue. And just fill that in first. Work around the eye. Try to stay inside the line. Good. Good. So we'll get the darks first, and that'll make it much easier for you. Under the eye. And under the beak. Leave the top part there. We can add another color to that. And under the tail. Good. And where else? Now you have it drawn out, so you have all your lines here to follow. This line here. Good. If you make a mistake or go outside the lines, you can always fix it later when it dries, okay? Try not to fix it when it's wet. Then we have under here, under the wing. Good. And where else? How about under the body? These are just shadows. Alright, so that just gets it started for you. You can also get maybe we'll get the thin liner brush. Get the thin liner brush because it might be a little better to control. And get the feet. So it's little feet right here. Okay, so that one goes on out here in the front of the branch, and that one goes behind the branch, okay? here, front. Don't want them to fall off. Wouldn't want the poor little chickadee to fall off. I might put another little bit here. So you can put your dark lines wherever you need to. I'm just outlining it so we can see it, that's all. Good. So I'm going to take my ultramarine blue and just put it on, go back to my messy palette. Take my ultramarine blue and put it on my filbert. Okay. And I'm going to put that, let's see, right here. There we go. Let's just get our basic colors on first and we'll work at the rest. So all you need to do is just get some basic colors. It's so much easier to do it this way than trying to get a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit on top here. These are your darker blues. I'll straighten it up in a second now. Okay. There we go. That's a better view. Alright, so let's take some white and add white to our blue. Alright. We'll have a lighter blue this time. And we'll put that lighter blue down here. Good. That's marvelous. And we'll do the same thing with this here. Get some white and some blue and put it up here. Okay. There we go. So this time I'm going to try a small brush. There it is. A small round brush, and I'm going to go into my white gesso. I'm going to use gesso instead of white paint. Gesso is really good for this. It's nice and smooth and runs well. Okay. Now, I got a flat brush also, so I just want to try both. Alright, so, because this is a little tricky. Alright, so what we're going to do is add some white. Now, I'm left-handed, so you might want to start on the opposite side of what I'm doing. Alright. So, there we go. I'm trying to put on little feathers. Okay. Now, so we'll just add a little. We may have to go back and forth on this a little bit. That happens sometimes. Alright, so now what we're going to do is keep putting, see, we're just adding little feathers. That's all. Now you can have your chickadees any color. You can have them brown, red, and all kinds of stuff, and yellow. There we go. Alright, so we get some more up here, and as you're coming in up here, go into the black a little bit. These little strokes, and that'll give it a feathery look. There we go. Alright. Go into that one too if you want. When you go into the black like that, it gives that more of a realistic feathery look. I want it nice and bright up here. I'm going to go to the flat brush now in a second. So try different brushes. No matter what I say, might work for me, but it may not work for you. So don't forget, try different brushes. I don't want you to say, oh, I don't have that brush, I don't have that color paint, I don't have that brand of paint, and I can't do anything. Whatever you have on hand, you can make a beautiful painting out of it. Okay? You know, you might see some videos say you got to have this kind of paint and that kind. Yes, if you want it to look exactly like the artist that's doing the painting. If you want to do it out of an art book and they show you the colors they used, if you want to have your painting exactly the same as them, then yes, you need to use those colors. And you still may not, you still may not get exactly the same because you use different pressure on your hand than they do, and you might mix them a little differently. So, but I don't try to make mine exactly like what I see. I try to have I use it as a reference. It's more fun when you create it yourself by just using the tutorials and books for a guide, yes, of course. But try your best to do your own version. So you're doing the Chickadee, which is fine, but it doesn't have to be exactly the same color or even the same shape. And you can look up different Chickadees and see what the shapes are, and just have some fun with it. It can be frustrating, I understand. I've been frustrated, especially trying to do videos. Trying to do it all and get it as good as I can for you. I'm just putting on a little bit of white here. We'll get to the flat brush now. Just painting little strokes of white on top of what I did. Let's try the flat, see what happens. You never know, it might work out. We'll never know unless we try. Alright, where do we need to put some white this time? Just going to go over some of this again. A few little strokes. There we go. That works pretty good. As long as it's chiseled edge, you should be okay. See, if you make that little bit over here, just go into that black a little bit. That'll thin it up for you if it's too thick. Same with down here, you can just go back into it. See? Just gives it a feathery look, that's all. See, it's cute. It's cute. So this one here, put some more white. So layer your paint so that you get more white on top of what you already did, because you got the blue for the underpainting. Try not to lose your underpainting, and then make little dabs of white on top of what you already did, just to give it some highlight. I'm just using the corner of the brush now to make it easy for me. The corner of the brush. There we go. I'm going to bring a little bit of that here. Good. I'm just playing around. Nice. You want to bring a few little strokes down in here. You might need the other brush for this one. See, I'm experimenting like you, and I'm finding this brush not that great for this small area here, but I'm going to keep doing it. So little feathers, isn't that cute? Gives it a feathery look, see? So if you add more little white strokes on top of that, you can just touch if it's easier. Okay? Little feathers. Okay, so let's take a little bit of blue, dark blue, ultramarine blue, and just do the top of this here. These little details. Doesn't want to come off. Alright, so you want to leave a little bit of white there, And now let's go in with the eye. Let's fill this in with black. Alright? Alright, because alright, yeah, that's good. And then what we'll do is wait for that to dry a little bit. While we're waiting for that to dry a little bit, take a bit of ultramarine blue on. I'm using just my round brush, and I'm just going to even up this top of this head a little bit. And I'm just going over with a bit of blue just to take that black look off it, okay? So anywhere there's black, just put some ultramarine blue on top just to take that flat black look off it. There we go. So you do whatever you know. If you find this helps, you can use this. See, it takes that flat look off there. Alright. Oops. My head jumped around. There we go, that's good. Got a funny head now because my hand jumped. Let me see if I can fix it. I don't want to leave you hanging like that. Let's see. Let's see if we can fix it. Because I kind of got a round, cute little round. See, that's better, isn't it? Good, that's much better. So make adjustments. If something don't look right, then don't be afraid to go back over it again, okay? And I'm going to take a little bit of light. So I'm just looking at it. Look at it and see where you think it might need some extra work. So I'm just going to add a little bit of blue up here to straighten this up because it's kind of needs work, right? See that? Add a little bit of white on top of that just to, so you know, go have a look at it and see where parts that might need a little adjusting. If you need to blend that together, you can just blend that right in here. Okay? Alright. I love you for the rest of my life. I love that song. The song I wrote, I love it. Great for a wedding song. I did write it for my wedding. And we played it at my wedding. Yeah, it's pretty. Alright, so take your little round brush and... Alright, and then take a little dot for the eye. Good. And then clean off your brush a little bit, so that if you get too much on there, and just sort of on the edge here, just give it a little bit of a highlight on the edge. Alright. Let's see if we can get that to work. Let's see what that will look like. I love you. Alright, that gives it a bit of an eye there. See that? Isn't that cute? Alright. That's alright. Now let's get a little bit of, I don't know, let me see. Let's go with some brown, a little bit of yellow. I'm thinking the feet might, on the same brush, small, and just thicken them up a little bit, I guess, with a little bit of highlight, a bit of brown and yellow. There we go. Alright. Probably be better if you looked at a picture of a chickadee. It'll help you guide you along with this is just my version, okay? Alright. Alright. There's not much left to do to that. I think looks like I need to fix his beak right here. Now, it looks to me like it's too long, so I'm not going to add any more paint to that. What I'm going to show you what I would do if you have a problem with something that's way too big or doesn't look right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into my blue, the background color of my sky, And I'm going to take it out that way. See? I love you. Alright. And that'll shape it up a bit better then, see? So if you can't get the background color, just go in with a bit of white. Alright. I think that's it. I don't think I want to do much more. I'm sure there's lots you can do. You can add more flowers at the bottom, and you can add another little chickadee up here. The little yellow one that I had in this one. That's the same thing, just draw it out, okay? Just draw it out and paint the, just paint the blacks where they go, and then under the belly there's yellow instead of the blue and whites, and right? Same thing exactly. So there we go. So that's a nice little painting, and it's pretty simple too, you know. It's pretty simple. It's not hard, and but you know, just the different brushes and the sponge makes a difference. Just having make that old rugged, weathered look on your birdhouse. Oh, I see something I would like to do. I would like to take my... Alright, we got a little bit of construction going on around here, so we'll probably hear a bit of noise in the background. That's why I got a little bit of music in the background there for you. But just watch this. Right here, there could be a couple of little flowers falling out of there. So I got red on one side of my brush, on my Filbert, and yellow on the other. And with the red side down, I'm just going to touch as if there's some. There we go. Maybe use white. Can't seem to get that to work. So a little bit of red, white, yellow, whatever works for you. Right now, mine won't work, but here we go. Oh. It's a bit of white. There we go. That's better. Actually, we could also put some of those little leaves, trees up there in the back. Probably would put those up at the top there instead. I could do that because the other chickadee will probably take me too long. But I think I'm going to use a sponge for that. Okay, so all you have to do is dip into some green and some yellow. Green and yellow in with your this or brush, as long as it's bristle, or your sponge. And you're going to tap this on top of here. Look how pretty that is. Now, isn't that cool? It does it all for you. You don't even have to do anything. Just tap, tap, tap. Tap, 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 tap. So simple. Isn't that the coolest thing you've ever seen? It amazes me even to this day. So do it again. Alright. Tap, 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 tap. You can even put in some little dark ones. And if you want, tap into your red. Add little bits of red to it. Tap, tap, tap. Look, and they all separate for you. You don't have to even worry about it. It's so cool. Hope you can see that. There we go. You do a whole painting of foliage with a sea sponge. Okay, so that should do it. This looks like it needs a little bit of work. See? I'll admit it. I will admit it. Yes, I'm not going to say, oh, mine is perfect. But you can go ahead and work on yours. And if you see something that don't look right, then put it in. But make sure that it's dry, because I think that's the problem I had where I was trying to do it for the video and I wouldn't wait for it to dry. Okay? So, you guys go and have fun with your painting. Enjoy. If you got any questions, just email me at allisonprior@yahoo.com. And I guess that's it for now. So I will see you in the next video. Happy painting, everybody. Leave a comment if you got any questions, or if you want to share. Don't forget to ring the bell. Happy painting. Bye.